I can just, yeah, I might as well just start. Alright, so this is SR4, the Kedama Takeover. First thing you notice probably is that my file was not new, but it still has 0 stars. The reason for that is because of the cap switches in this game. They're actually stored on separate ROMs that you have to access by using a password that you get from finding certain signs in the game. But in order to actually use them, you would have to open a separate ROM, and, you know, switching ROMs in the middle of a run is kind of stupid, so we just made the switches already pressed, but you can't use any switch box until you've read the corresponding sign with the right color. So what I did there was just kind of just clip through a door. That's the 65-star door. So you're normally supposed to do this pretty much near the end of the game. And the reason why I'm doing this now is because once you finish this level, you get to the purple switch, which unlocks boxes that warp you to stars. So if you don't have this box unlocked, then you can't get every star in all the levels. So if I were to put this off and do it later, you know, as in if I didn't clip through that door, I would have to go through all the levels once to get enough stars to get in here. And then I would have to go through all the levels again after that in order to clean up the rest of the stars from the boxes that I would unlock by doing this. So it's a good thing that Jarp found that clip through that door. Otherwise, the route for this would be not nearly as good. Yeah, this is definitely by far the hardest level in this game. It is quite a long level with a lot of dangerous jumps. So hopefully I don't die, because that would cost a lot of time. So yeah, 97 star is the 100% category for this game. You have to collect all the stars, even the secret 97th one that you're not supposed to know about. Now I just have to make sure this guy doesn't snipe me. Okay. Alright, first try. This is good. Even so. Alright, so now I'm just gonna race this Koopa. It's a pretty easy race. He's not very fast. Yeah, this kind of takes the theme of a lot of other levels in the game and just makes, like, kind of a mishmash of the areas. Not that we've seen anything in the game yet, so we're not really going to recognize anything from this, but... Alright. So this star will warp me to the purple switch. Or, not the purple switch, the purple sign. And then once I read this, I'll be allowed to use purple boxes. There we go. So now this pipe will take me back to the entrance to level 1. Right here, and one thing to note about this game is that it uses an open world level structure. Meaning the entrance to each level is basically nested within another level, so that the course is kind of stitched together into a huge world map that, so for certain levels, like if you're in the overworld, you would have to go through a bunch of other levels before you would be able to get to them. Like, for example, course 14, you would have to go from the overworld to course 11, to course 12, to course 13, to course 14, which would take quite a while. And another thing is, because of that fact, every time you collect a star, you spawn back in the level you were originally in, and so you get to keep all of the coins you collected when you were, you know, before you got the star. So I basically collect coins while I'm collecting stars, and then eventually just get, you know, the 100 coin star and the red coin star at the end. And for this course in particular, like, I need to kill a lot of those Koopas to get their coins in order to get enough for 100. Alright, so just one more Koopa and I'll have enough coins. So I'm going to do something a little different than how I normally do things. And collect the red coin star before I... oh gosh. Okay, I can probably actually make that. Alright. If I get a good enough angle. Alright. Okay, so now that last Koopa near that cave there, which is the entrance to course 5, I'm just gonna collect on the way. And then I'll have all the stars that I want to get in this course right now. There's still one more, but there's a time later when I'll get that star. Okay. So I'm going to go from course 1 into this cave, and now I'm in course 5. Oh yeah, so like I said earlier, when you collect a star, you spawn back in the course you were in, so you get to keep your coins. On the other hand, if you die in a course, you do not spawn back in that course, and therefore you lose all of the coins you collected, and you'd have to collect them again. And because of that fact, dying in this game is very... You lose a lot of time if you ever die. Pretty much regardless of when you die. I mean, if you die really early, then you might not lose too much time, but most likely you're gonna die after collecting a few stars. But even though you've collected those stars, like, you basically have to collect them again in order to get all the coins that you lost. Because most of the red coins in this game are on the way to stars. So having to go get those red coins again often is about the same amount of time as just getting those stars again that you already have. So basically you have to do every level in one go. And if you die, you have to basically restart the whole thing. And also because of the fact that you keep your coins, like, you'll basically get a lot of extra lives, because every time you collect a star, if you have more than 50 coins, you get an extra life. Oh yeah, and another thing. If you saw the green stars run earlier, you would... Well, hopefully Sigo explained the camera system in that game. Where, the, HUD is basically hidden unless you press R. But because of that... Because of that, the R button isn't used to change camera mode, so... In normal Super Mario 64, you can switch the camera from Lakitu Cam to Mario Cam by pressing R, but you can't do that in this game because Brodude wanted to use it to display how many stars, you know, which stars you've collected in each level. Or in the level you're currently in, so you can see how many are left and how many you didn't collect, because there's no star select screens. So you don't actually have hints for stars unless you look in the text file that Brodude included with the download of the ROM itself, but... So anyway, how it happened was that he never actually implemented that feature because he was going to have Kaze code that for him, but Kaze mysteriously disappeared for a certain period of time during the development of this game. And because of that, he implemented the functionality of the R button not changing the camera mode, but he never actually made it so that it shows you what stars you've got. So anyway, I just got the yellow switch, which is hidden in this level. Well, I mean, I read the yellow sign. So now I'm allowed to use yellow boxes, which have shells in them. Just like in 4.5, the green boxes had shells as well. So just like in Green Stars, if you go in the pause menu to change the camera mode from Mario Lakitu to Lakitu Fixed, it will force the camera into Lakitu Cam, but then you can't change it back after that without resetting the game, obviously. Or save quitting, I think, would also change it back. Oh! I almost just long jumped off that cliff. Yeah, those jumps are kind of annoying. Because you're on slopes, so that kind of decreases your speed unless you do some kind of movement to maximize your speed right before jumping. But then by doing that, you can't really have as good control of your angle as I would like. Alright. So as usual, just collecting coins. And making sure not to die. Oh boy, I wanted to dive there. At least I landed on the road. So there's the red coin star. I'm gonna get the 100 coin star on the way to this next star I'm about to collect, which will warp me back over to where the red coin star spawned. Then there's still one more star left. after this in this level. Well, 2 more actually, but I'm only gonna get 1 now because level entrances. ACB. I mean, damn it. Anyway. So now I'm just gonna go to this star that doesn't really have any red coins on the way to it. So now we have this roughly 1 minute long elevator ride. It's just great design. Elevator rides in general. Just kind of sit there and wait for it to go to its destination. Occasionally dodging a fire or an enemy. Alright. So now I'll be going to the Bowser 1 stage here, which is Big Bully's Sky Palace. The reason why I have to go there? It has a red coin star, and I have to collect all the stars in the game. I mean, it also has a key there. But as it turns out, just like in SR4.5, I can skip that key. Although the actual execution of skipping that key is a bit more difficult in this game, but the principle is the same. Also, this level is much harder than its 4.5 equivalent. The glass is actually like completely transparent until it glows or flashes or whatever. Unlike 4.5, where you can basically see it all the time. But yeah, because of certain factors, the key 1 skip was actually implemented in Star Revenge 4.5 before it was implemented in Star Revenge 4. I had long since theorized that it would be possible to do if I had certain ingredients to put together, but I never was able to put that together until after 4.5 came out that had a readily available way of executing the skip. But anyway, yeah, the key 1 fight in this game is a bully boss that you have to take like a 2-minute elevator ride to get to. So obviously, I don't want a 2-minute auto-scroller in my speedrun, so discovering that key 1 skip was quite helpful. Makes the run a lot less boring. And also, you know, made the route a lot more efficient because we do the courses backwards now instead of forward. So we take advantage of the natural death warps that exist in levels that bring you to the previous one. Instead of having to travel through the levels forward to the warps, we just basically get to kill ourselves and instantly travel to the previous level. So we just get this red coin star, and exit course, because we no longer need to be here. So now we're going to go to course 3, where we can execute the key 1 skip. What the first key in this game does is allow you to enter course 6 from course 2, but because of the fact that the levels are interconnected, there's also an entrance from course 3 to course 9, which is, you know, connected to course 6 eventually through courses 7 and 8. So because of that, but normally the course 3 entrance into course 9 brings you to a small room with just a cannon bomb in it that you can't access the rest of the level from, and the room is also so small with no way of dying that you can't take fall damage in. So you can't kill yourself to take advantage of the warps. But if you do what I just did there, you can enter course 9 at the same time that you die, which then warps you back to course 8, and now you can enter course 9 from there. Which is now past the first key door, and because of this, we don't need the first key. And so I go to the pink sign now, so after this I will have read all the signs and therefore can use all of the boxes. So now I can open cannons, and this will warp me over here, where the cannon box is. And this is where I was earlier when I did the key 1 skip. I died here to get to the rest of the level, but because of that, now I'm back in course 3, where I can go from here to collect all the stars in the level. But yeah, if you die in course 6, it warps you back to course 2, which is, you know, outside of the key door, which you can't go through because you don't have the key. So because of the key 1 skip, yeah, if I die in course 6, I have to go all around, all the way back here to do key 1 skip again, and then go all the way back to course 6. Which takes about a minute and a half to do, maybe. So every death in course 6 costs an additional minute and a half. You know, in addition to whatever you lose by losing all your coins, red coins, and all that. So I'm gonna try to be really careful in course 6 because dying is just so catastrophic there. But I mean, it's just basically a level with quicksand all over the place, so well, I guess not really all over the place. It's more like the quicksand is effectively death barrier with the way it's used in the level. Like, you just kind of fall off the main part of the level, and then you're just in quicksand. Probably don't need that coin. And even if I do, there are plenty of Goombas later. Ah, I missed the ground pound. Yeah, so I'm just collecting the rest of the red coins. Alright, so I want to keep my shell when going through these switch boxes here, because that will be faster. So I can just collect this afterwards and then go over here to where the red coin star spawns. And now I just get this last red coin. And the 100 coin star. Then there's one more star here that I kind of forgot to get right away. And I probably should have, that way I don't have to wait for the coins to count up. It's this purple box star here. Alright, so now I'm going to go through Course 1, Course 5, and Course 4, getting all the stars that I intentionally left out early. And the reason I left them out is because these stars are faster to get when you come from the warps, you know, of the level that I enter from. So going from Course 1 to Course 3 to Course 1 gives me a faster route to this star here. Going from Course 1 to Course 5 gives me a faster route to the purple box star in that level. And then going from Course 5 to Course 4 gives me a faster route to the purple box star in that level as well. And then there's one more that I left out because it's kind of a risky star, and I didn't want to do it during my 100 coin route, because if I died, then I would lose all my coins. So this way, if I do this star now, I won't lose all my coins because I'm not collecting any coins because I already collected the coins. Or, like, I already have the coin stars in this level. So I do this to warp right next to the place where I do the skip. And the skip is just a long jump and a couple lava bounces. The way you're intended to get this star is to go from the Course 3 entrance into Course 5, which is that cave you see in the distance over there that I'm about to long jump toward. And then from there, you're able to go through this path here and then get the star. And he didn't really intend for people to be able to do those lava bounces there to get the star. Which is why this star is named From Cool to Hot, because Course 3 is a snow level and this is like a lava level. Or cold to warm, okay. Oh wait, no, I'm supposed to die now. Because by doing that, it will warp me straight to Course 4. Just like I did before, after the yellow switch earlier in the run. Then I go out here, there's a fake red coin, a fake star, and then the purple box with the real star down here. Okay, and now I'm going to die immediately again, and that will bring me to course 2, which I haven't been to yet. And the reason for that is there's a cannon in course 2 that I want to open and use. So before I come here, I need to have gone to course 9 to open the cannon. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so this is just kind of a city level. Not much to say here. There's the key door that I'm not gonna ever go through because I can't, because I don't have the key. Oh, I'm dumb. I killed those piranha plants in the wrong order. So the thing about the coin counter I noticed is that, like, up to a certain point, the coins count up pretty slowly, but once you get enough of them, like, the speed at which the counter increases. So, like, getting enough coins to get that speed increase is faster than not doing so and having, like, just enough for it to count slowly. Yeah, those counted fast, so like they were basically done counting up by the time I put my hat on, so I don't think I lost any time for that. Okay. So just 2 more stars. Okay, I guess I need to triple jump that. I guess it looks a little bit closer than it really is. Alright, so now I just need to go to the cannon and shoot myself into a star. Oh boy. So I use that little bit of the cloud there as a visual cue where to aim the cannon. I align the top of the aiming thing to the bottom of the cloud. I'm going to exit course again, go back to course 1, because now I've gotten everything in the first 5 levels of the game. Everything else is behind the first key door. So I need to do key 1 skip again to get over there. So I'll go course 9 to course 10, to course 8 to course 7 to course 6. And I guess I didn't really explain this last time, but this level is actually a snow level, so if normally when you take fall damage, you get stuck in the snow instead. So because of that, I thought that this skip was not possible to do. But as it turns out, there's some quirk of Super Mario 64 mechanics, is that if you're falling at maximum speed, which is 75, and then do a dive at the right height, you'll actually take fall damage instead of being stuck in the snow. Like, that's the one exception to be able to take fall damage while you're on snow. Otherwise, it's not possible to do. So because of that little mechanic, it's possible to do this key 1 skip. I mean, technically there's also a BLJ you can do in the course 9 section of that allows you to clip through the little gate and then fall off and die like that. But that BLJ is kind of precise, like you need a really good angle, and I don't like setting the angle up. It's a lot easier to just do the wall kicks and then take fall damage like I did there. And since I'm already in course 3, this way I don't have to like enter course 9 and then do the BLJ. I can just take damage on the way and then die immediately. We already done a 4.550 star and an SR497 star. There's no reason to do a 35 star of Star Revenge 4. I mean, it is a pretty quick run, but it's quite volatile because small mistakes can cost a lot. Well, specifically mistakes in course 6 cost a lot, but... maybe some other marathon, yeah. This game is quite tough to run because it's so punishing. Maybe next time I'll just stick with 35 star. But I wanted to show off the Blue Realm and Blue Boulevard, so like that's kind of the interesting parts of this game anyway. It's mostly just unique because of its strange mechanics, really. He didn't see me, really. Yeah, this star is kind of dumb. Right here, because, like, how are you supposed to find this? It's just, there's a ceiling that looks like a ceiling, but it's just not there. Pretty sure I had to look that up somewhere on YouTube when I first played this game casually. Some nice wall kicks here when it's kind of dark, so it's hard to see. And also a chucky at the end that if he grabs you, you're probably going to get thrown off the edge. All for a red coin. And also this nice toxic maze here, which actually has 2 paths through it that will take you to the star. Yeah, I already got that earlier, CP. The pink switch. Or the pink sign. Well, in 4.5, it's not really a toxic maze. It's just like a toxic area where you have to collect secrets. But yeah, that's probably worse than this. You're probably right about that. Yeah, I already read all the signs. I read it earlier when I did the Key 1 skip. The first time. Which was right before Crystal Lake when I had 17 stars. After Big Lily Sky Palace. Alright, so that's the end of this level, so I will proceed to kill myself, and that will take me to Course 8. And then I'm going to kill myself again to get to Course 7, and then use this entrance to get to Course 8, because this is closer to Course 10 than where I was when I came out of Course 9. So I'm going to do this to get to the Course 10 entrance. Right over here. And I will be in the Desert Construction Zone. And this level has hidden in it the secret level that we all would know and love if SR3 was before this in the marathon, but it's not. Good old Palm Harbor. Or, in this game's case, Plam Habor. If we all want to see this excellent typo of Brodoots, I shall pause the game for a slight bit. Plam Habor's Festival. And here you just collect these 100 stars that function as red coins. Oh yeah. Yeah, the way you're normally supposed to get to that pipe is by opening the cannon and then using it to launch yourself onto the ship. But because of that chain long jump I was able to do there, we don't have to open the cannon now. So yeah, generally falling into the water here is bad because then you have to swim all the way back to the beginning. So I'm going to try not to do that. But other than that, it's just moving around quickly to get all the coins. You might have been able to see those fireworks in the distance in the background. It's kind of cool that there's a background that changes in this level. I don't know of many other levels that are like that. I meant to ledge grab with that side flip. Oh, really? Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. I didn't know that. I'm not sure if that question was ever answered, Shirley, to be honest. So this level is kind of a collision of 3 different kinds of areas. We have this little town here with grassland, and then there's that beach area with where the ship is that I went through earlier to get to the ship. And then we have what the level's named for, the desert construction zone that is on the other side of this cliff here. And that desert construction zone is pretty dangerous because it has quicksand all over the place. So if you fall off of the construction, you're just dead because quicksand. And that obviously causes large amounts of time loss. So right here is where you would open the cannon. That's the box with the cannonball bomb inside of it. Generally, if I had tried to go and grab the Chucky immediately, it's possible that the fly guy would come after me and then hit me into the quicksand. So to avoid that, I just kind of went over to where I'm not near the edge. So even if I do get hit, I won't fall into the quicksand. So we're almost out of the danger zone here. Just gotta run across these thin paths. Alright. Now we should get, well, other than the Womp fight, that's the pretty much only other place we could die in this level. So as long as I'm careful with the Womp fight, it should be alright. I suppose I could fall in the water, which would cost me a lot of time in certain places, but it doesn't mean death, so I still get to keep all my coins at least. I want to have 95 coins right now, so that... Because there's a row of 5 coins on the way to this fight, so I want to get the 100 coin star there. That way I'll have that locked down and safe in case I die. Okay. So that, you know, there's extra textures on here that are not the bricks is quicksand. So that's like pretty much how it's possible to die to this fight. If you get hit by fire and then run into quicksand while you're on fire, or if the Womp like pushes you into the quicksand somehow. You just gotta be a little careful and you should be fine though. Now I can just collect that red coin star, that's right about here. And then there's one more star in this level, but since I've already collected the 100 coin star and the red coin star, I don't really care if I die anymore. It's in the desert construction zone, but I've already gotten all the coins I need when I went there on my other trip to that area. So, this is relatively safe at this point. just because of the fact that I don't need coins anymore, so losing them is not a problem. So this is just a triple jump wall kick ledge grab to the top of this temple, which seems to be the intended strategy for getting the star. Even though it's like a pretty tight triple jump wall kick ledge grab, really. I think you basically need second frame. Alright. So now I'll just head back to the entrance to Course 8, because there's no quick way to kill myself in this level. And the entrance is pretty close by anyway. Now begins the Course 8 stuff. So this level is a bit dangerous, because if I fall off, it's just death barrier down there, so I just die. And right below me right now is lava, so I can only fall off 3 times until... Alright. Yeah, the Goomba's a little bit of a problem, so I'm just gonna get rid of him so that so he doesn't hit me every time a star, like every time I get a star. At least fix the camera or something, and like 6 out of 8 red coins would be helpful. Because then you wouldn't need to do every star again to get red coins. You'd only have to do like all of them except for one. Okay, I think I can make it. Yeah, okay. Oh, that could have been bad. Because those shrink platforms don't come back. Oh yeah, also Kaze object fix. But the open world system is not in 4.5, bro, dude. Let's see. Yeah, I need to go this way. And there's a nice, like, secret passage down here, kind of. With this excellent thin path that's probably very easy to die to if you're inexperienced. What? Why did you not climb up? Mario, what are you doing? I pressed A. Alright, so now I just need to get the 100-point star and the last red coin. Yeah, that was just because the invisible wall patch CB. And there's one more star here in a purple box. Alright, so now I'm going to kill myself again. Of course, because what else would I do at this point, right? Now I'm in course 7. The jungle of uselessness. Complete with building of no purpose. I missed this cycle because I was slow. It's actually Forever Forest CB from Paper Mario. Because Night of Doom is later in the marathon, it hasn't happened yet. So anyway, yeah. This level is kind of weird. And pretty costly to die in as well. Kinda have to be careful. I mean, you have to be careful in most levels in this game, but this one, I think, even more so than usual. Okay. I guess one interesting thing about this level is that there are 2 blue coin switches, which is why the ticking has not stopped after I collected those 2 blue coins. Because there's another blue coin switch on the opposite side of the level. And as it turns out, all blue coin switches are linked. So yeah, it's the building of no purpose in the jungle of uselessness, so... I mean, at least it fits thematically, right? I guess I should also say, he spelled jungle wrong. Nice typo. So this is the other blue coin switch. So now the ticking will stop once I collect those 3 coins, because all the blue coins in the level have been collected. Ah! Well, there goes a long time. So I basically have to get Building of No Purpose again, because, you know... Wait, I should probably do this after the other star. Oh well. What can you do? Okay, so I killed the piranha plant, but didn't get up there. Where'd that blue coin go? Down here? Okay. Well, I'm at 3 health. So if I fall in the lava again, I'm dead. Alright. Oh yeah, that is another nice thing about this game. The Goombas do 2 damage instead of 1, and also move a lot faster than they normally would. So I'm just getting the star to warp back to the beginning of the level. Since, you know, all the rest of the coins are on the opposite side of the level. Oh, nice coins. Yeah, it seems like every enemy in this game does an extra damage, except maybe amps, I guess. Oh, not piranha plants. Those normally do 3, I think. Or maybe mini piranha plants do 2 naturally as well. I might not remember that. So I guess it's only Goombas that do 1 extra damage each. Yeah, there is pretty big invisible walls around here. I think if I had long jumped there, my jump would have gotten eaten. Alright, so I kind of just go all the way to the left side, then jump dive. That usually avoids the invisible walls. Why do I have so few coins? My coin count is really low. I think it's because all this Chuck is. Oh. Okay. So we should be done with this level right about now. So now, the pipe that leads to Course 6 is right next to me, but for some reason, the warp on this pipe takes you to basically where you would be if you would enter Course 6 from Course 2. So I actually want to die here, so that I spawn here, which is closer to some stars than the main entrance. But, yeah, and also I was able to kill myself faster because the lava in that area that I was, you know, falling into on purpose actually deals 5 damage instead of 3. And the reason for that, well, you know, Kaze collaborated with Brodude on this game, of course, as I said earlier when I was talking about the camera. And, you know, Brodude was just kind of curious if Kaze could make lava deal 5 damage. So Kaze was just like, yeah, I could do that. And he just put some in that spot there. So that level has some lava that deals 5 damage and some lava that deals 3 due to Kaze coding it that way. Wow, that was very close to me not making it onto the glass. I'm not even sure if that amp was helpful or not. It might have almost killed me, or it might have saved me, I'm not sure. So this cannon here is what you use to shoot yourself over to where the boss is. Yeah, because as it turns out, the boss for the second key is in course 6, but you have to go all the way to course 9 to access the pink bomb. You need to open the cannon, so to get the second key, you know, with the intended way to play this game without key 1 skip, you would have to go into course 6 from course 2, and then so you have to go from course 6 all the way to course 9. That involves going through course 7 and course 8 as well on your way there. And then you open the cannon, and then you have to go back to course 6 to get to the cannon to shoot yourself into the boss. But because of key 1 skip, we can open the cannon first and then come to course 6. So that's nice. We don't have to like make a run all the way through Overworld 2 at the beginning, like we used to have to in 97 Star before Key 1 Skip was discovered. And that should be the last red coin. Okay. No, there's no need for that CB. I have plenty of coins. Watch. Hey, got the 100 coin. The red coin star is spawned. I just need to walk over there and get it. Right about here. And then if I'm counting correctly, should just be one more star, which is the purple box star. And then I'll head over to the boss. We're not safe yet, CB. Holy shit, I've never failed this bad before. Okay. I mean, we would still have to do key 1 skip again if we died at this point. Which still takes quite a while. But other than that, yeah. We have all the stars now. Just a matter of getting to the boss level now. With pretty much all the enemies already dead, except for ones that can't be killed. So I intentionally aim for that little goalpost type thing to bong into it, so I don't have to worry about overshooting or undershooting. Alright, now we're in factory time problem, so we're safe now. No having to do key 1 skip again. I'll live. So yeah, this level, probably the hardest part is the part with this just long path of glass that, like, I generally tend to be careful on because, you know, you can't see where the path is half the time, or more than half the time. You only get to see it once about every, I don't know, 5 seconds maybe? Whoa! In that case, there are enemies over it, and I can see the enemy shadows on the glass, which enables me to safely move through it, using them as a guide. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty late into the level, so you would lose a lot of time if you died here. So I tend to be careful with the glass. Because this game's more about not dying than it is about going fast, in all honesty. Just because dying costs so much time no matter where you die. And now to fight Time Rock in his first appearance in the Star Revenge series. When Brodude actually tried to write poems in his text boxes. I mean, this run is probably a world record pace right now, to be honest. I should have probably save quit so I would spawn closer to MIPS when I come out from the title screen, but oh well. Like, I've only died once so far. Then again, I haven't gone particularly fast. I mean, if I don't die in Musical Heights, then I'll definitely be on world record pace, but if I do, then I'm probably behind world record by a considerable amount, and the world record has very good end game, so... So now this is Magmatic Beach Canyon, which is a lava level with changing water levels. So you kind of just like have lava underwater because that makes sense. The nice thing about this level is that you can pretty much completely break it by clipping through this door. So because I collected that star underwater, I'm basically stuck with water camera until I enter water again. But that's not really an issue because I enter water again pretty much immediately. So because of that, I'm able to raise the water level immediately, which normally you have to like do a lot to get the water to get to this level. It involves like opening a cannon and then shooting the canyon up to a certain point to activate one of these diamonds, but you know, because of being able to clip through that door, we don't have to worry about that. We can get a star immediately. Swimming. The diamond I was talking about is that one right there. You'd shoot yourself in a cannon up to here. So while the level is full of water, I'm just gonna collect all the red coins. Well, not all of them, but most of them. And now I can go over here to this star that requires the highest water level in order to get. Unlike in 4.5, where the star has a skip that you don't need to raise the water level at all to get the star. So now I'm going to lower the water level. But since that'll take a while it's lowering, I'm going to swim up to a certain point. That'll help me get where I'm going faster. Specifically over to this red coin. So now the only star left is the red coin star, after I get this one, of course. Yeah, good, 71. Okay, I didn't forget any stars anywhere. So to get that, I'm gonna raise the water level again. So that'll spawn the red coin star, and then I'll collect the red coin star. And we're done with here, and we will move to musical height, where we will find out if this run is going to get sub 220, or if it's going to be longer than 230. Well, actually, just getting a good musical heights doesn't guarantee that, because there's still Dreamy Kedama Hideout, where I could lose tons of time, and also Blue Boulevard, where I could lose tons of time. And I guess Mushroom Volcano Crater I can lose a decent amount of time. So this level is just kind of a bunch of cliffs, and you can fall off very easily and lose all of your coins, which take forever to get. I mean, once you get the red coins and 100 coins, though, it's not so bad to die, but, you know, it's just so costly if you do die before you get reds and hundreds. This level is just kind of pretty rough. Pretty monka-esque. So in this level, there's this secret warp here that teleports you on top of this upside-down castle. And you can... From here, you can go to pretty much anywhere in the level by jumping down. So I'm going to jump right into that wall so I don't take fall damage, and then from here I can get the rest of the red coins on my way down. Alright, so that's 100 coin, and I'm right next to the red coin star. So we're pretty safe, it looks like. So this is pretty much the one time I don't use the warp for star. Alright, so now on to course 13. Which is a, I don't know, lava version of course 2 from Star Revenge 1. Modified quite a bit in addition to that, but yeah. It's loosely based off of Mushroom Cliffs from Star Revenge 1. It has a lot of these big Goombas that give you 10 coins. But sometimes they can like jump over lava for a little bit and that ends up killing them. So you lose those 10 coins. And if that happens too much, then you might not be able to get 100 coins. Oh. Ah. Meant to long jump, but for some reason I fell off the platform and then ground pounded. It was a relatively early death, so as far as bad things go, that's one of the less bad things. Alright, back on track. I don't think so. Because world record lost probably like 3 minutes to Musical Heights compared to this run. Although this run also lost some time to Jungle of Uselessness, which I'm pretty sure world record didn't. And then world record also actually died in Mushroom Volcano's Crater anyway, so I'm probably even on this course. I would say I'm probably overall ahead, but the late game, that specifically being like Dreamy Kedama Hideout and Blue Boulevard, were both really good in my world record, so if I don't do really well on those, then I'm probably going to lose the lead and not world record. Then again, I don't know how much time was lost to slow movement over world record, so like that could be a significant chunk of time. I know my Blue Realm was not sub 6, which means it wasn't particularly good. Oh, good thing I didn't fall down from that. That would have been catastrophic. Ah, didn't hit it close enough to the wall. Yeah, I just did 3 hours because I had so much extra time anyway because Space did 80 star instead of 130 star for Star Road. So I figured might as well give myself some extra time with the estimate. In case things went catastrophically wrong, as they tend to do in this game. That's the wrong way. One more star I need to get. Well, yeah, with that 222, though, I reset for a good Blue Realm. And this, I had no idea that I was going to get Blue Realm first try. Like, that was a stroke of luck right there. Alright. Alright, so now the final level, well, other than the bonus level, Dreamy Kedama Hideout, and this is where Kedauser has his main base, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, the Kedauser fight is in this level. And I guess in case anyone's wondering, Kedauser is Bowser being taken over by Kedamas. Hence why the game is called the Kedama Takeover. Okay. No, don't do that. Oh god. Okay. Maybe? No. Shit. Oh, why did I triple jump? I needed to just kick. Then I would have had that easy. That part's actually really hard though, because the camera's awful and you can't see anything. And also those falling platforms can eat your jumps sometimes, which just basically kills you. But yeah, that was a relatively early death, so it's low on time loss. I mean, it's still probably like 45 seconds to a minute or so, but... Okay, there we go. Oh, I get to live. Huh. So this level has a lot of coins. So because of that, I'll generally get the 100 coin star pretty early. Like, it has so many coins that I don't even need to get the 5 from standing on his back and jumping on it a bunch of times. These heat codes can be a little bit trouble sometimes, so I'm just being careful there. Alright, so that's the last red coin. This tree has some weird collision near it. So I have to like jump sideways and then ground pound from above to hit this box. Otherwise an invisible wall will push me to the right for some reason. Although I don't know why it doesn't push me to the right when I do what I just did, but for some reason it doesn't. I don't really understand it, but it has weird collision. So now I just need to collect the red coin star, which is all the way next to the Kedama pipe. Okay. So now I just have to fight Kedama, and then... Yeah, it's 89 stars because Brodu tried to keep hidden the fact that that star in Musical Heights exists. And that way, since, you know, you had enough stars to access the door, which is supposed to take all the stars in the game, people would be led to believe that, oh, this is all the stars that exist in the game. So they wouldn't even look for the extra star in Musical Heights, because they have no reason to believe that it exists. Other than that sign that kind of sarcastically says, there's totally not another star in here or anything. But other than that, they'd have no reason to believe that there's another star in the game. Alright, so this fight doesn't really give me anything, but the reason I complete it is just because of the rules of the category. Basically, the reason why is that when Suknit ran the first run of 97 star this game, he beat Kedama in his run. So ever since then, in order to make things fair for him, I've beaten Kedama in my runs as well. So once I get the star, I just reset the game. So now I have to go all the way through the overworld again. Or not through the overworld, but, you know, through all the levels. Because open world. Because I need to get back to course 14 so I can get to the entrance of course 15. Oh boy, that's death. Why? Yeah, I don't think this can get 220 anymore. I could see maybe 225 if things go well from here. But Blue Boulevard and Missing No by themselves take like 12 minutes. And I still have to get the 2 Blue Boulevard from here. Okay, we're good. Now the interesting thing about this level, well, I don't know if it's really interesting, but it's possible to crash the game from loading too many objects when I go through this little passage with the shell. Because when flamethrowers go, they spawn a lot of objects, and these boxes do 3 at a time, so that's like 51 objects each. And with all the other objects in the level, it can crash the game. Now the reason why I wasn't concerned about that earlier when I was just doing this level normally is because I already collected a lot of the coins in the level, so a lot less objects were being loaded in the level in general because I'd already collected them to make them disappear. So there wasn't a risk of there being too many objects loaded and crashing the game, but now there is because the level is fresh. And Zach, I use a GameCube controller. So I intentionally left 1 star in this level just for safety while I was doing red coins, because this star is on the way to another star that I already got. So I don't get any red coins on the way to it, so I don't need to get this for reds or hundreds, and there's a chance that I die to it. And dying is much safer now than it was back when I was doing this level, so I wouldn't, you know... Because this way I don't have any risk of losing any coins I'm collecting, because I don't need to collect coins in this trip to the level. So now I have all the stars outside of Blue Boulevard. So now I will make my way to Blue Boulevard. Wow, really now? Alright, and there it is. Now we're on the bonus level, which is an easier version of the Bowser 3 level of Night of Doom. If you're familiar with that, you'll notice that in the Night of Doom run later, if you watch that. This is just kind of a long path with a bunch of red coins on the way. Fortunately, the red coin star is the type that just brings up a save prompt when you collect it, rather than warping you out of the level. Well, in this case, warping you back into the level at the beginning. So, yeah, that's helpful. Because the red coin star spawns right next to the entrance to the final boss fight. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that was scary. Kinda got a pretty bad angle there. I meant to long jump all the way to the end. Luckily I was able to grab that ledge there. Alright. Now I just have to go up there, get that last star. Well, that last star other than hundreds and reds. Oh wow, I didn't even know that that would save me. I thought I was just dead. Okay, so now I'll just climb the level while getting red coins along the way, and that will be the end of that. And I almost gave myself another heart attack. Almost just slid right off that platform there. Or that path, I guess. That tree, dude. Oh. That was the weirdest collision I've ever seen. Luckily I didn't die to that. Gee. Heart attack number 3. Alright, so I mentioned earlier that you can switch the camera to Lakitu Cam in the pause menu. I'm actually going to do that right now, because around that box right there, the game converts Lakitu Cam into Parallel Cam, which is quite useful for the rest of this level. Because it involves a lot of wall kicks, which is something that Parallel Cam is extremely good for. Especially these wall kicks, because if you try to do these in Mario Cam, for some reason your camera just gets stuck at the bottom of the level. So you're like a million feet below Mario and you cannot see anything. And it's just really bad. There is a route you can take that avoids those wall kicks altogether, but... Okay, I'll just drop down, I guess. That route is a lot slower, so it's much faster to just activate Parallel Cam and use it to go through those wall kicks there. And there we go. So we're not quite gonna get world record, but we're gonna be like 2 minutes off of it. The only problem is I'm stuck in Lakitu Cam for this fight. Where Mario Cam would probably be better, but it's not too bad. You can still kind of control it, roughly. And the slide is a bit annoying with Lakitu Cam because it suddenly changes angle on you midway through the slide, like right here. You kind of have to do that to be able to see where you're going. But once you get used to it, you can deal with it. And this is the one level where dying warps you back into the same level you already were. So I use that to get back to the top of the slide faster to get the rest of the red coins, because they are in split-off paths. Alright, so that's all the stars. Now I just need to get into the pipe that warps me to the end of the game, which is through this 96 star door.